love all plants, but I especially love indoor plants, and I love coming to a nursery because you have your pick of the crop. There's so much green bling on offer, and our eyes are often drawn to the prettiest, shiniest things, but when we take them home, unfortunately, we often kill them. So to keep the relationship growing over the long term, it helps to think about a few basic things, like the space you've got, the light, the soil, when to water, and what plants to pick. A good rule of thumb when choosing indoor plants is to choose based on how much time you can commit. If you're time poor, then there are lots of great varieties that you can choose that will fit in with you and your schedule. Like this Hoya here, or the common wax flower. It's a trailing evergreen climber, which means that if you give it support, it will climb, otherwise it will spill over the sides of a hanging basket. And I love the foliage of Peperomia obtusifolia. It's a bit of a mouthful, but it's got these gorgeous variegated leaves, but you can also get just plain green varieties too. One of my favourite plants is the homalomena. It has these beautiful heart-shaped leaves that are deeply veined. Put it in a pot and leave it on your desk or put it on the floor and it will look perfect. Another favourite easy care plant of mine is the dieffenbachia. It has these large, lush leaves, beautifully patterned as well. If you really want impact, then go for a MONSTERA. It has these large leaves with these fenestrations, these holes in the leaves, and they just make such a statement in your home. So those are some of the really easy care plants. But now, let's look at some that require a little more TLC. Rex begonias are showstoppers. One of my personal favourites is the begonia escargot. It looks like a snail and the leaves and the stems shimmer in the sunlight. Everyone makes a beeline for these plants at the local nursery, but they can be a little bit on the high maintenance side. They love high humidity, and people tend to overwater as well. To create a high humid environment, you can group them together like this, and this creates a lovely lush microclimate that they can thrive in. Or else you can invest in a humidifier. FIDDLE-LEAF figs are so popular, much loved for their large leathery leaves and beautiful venations. But they can be a bit temperamental, and when you get them home, they can drop their leaves like that, and you end up with a sad-looking stick. All you need to do is make sure you give them the right environment. They need lots of bright light. Direct morning sun is okay, but definitely not the afternoon sun, and make sure you only water when the soil is near dry. One of the most common things that people do with all indoor plants is overwater. That's the biggest killer. If it's damp, leave it alone. And there's an easy way to tell if it needs water. Simply insert your finger into the potting mix. So it's a bit dry and needs a good water. When watering, make sure that it runs through the bottom of the drainage holes. That's how you know you've given it a good drink. Your pot plants are not just relying on you for water. It all starts with the soil. As a minimum for all your indoor plants, I recommend a premium potting mix. As for your aroids, like the Scindapsus here, I recommend making up your own mix. Aroids are one of the largest and most diverse plant families, and many of them are your common house plants, like aglonema, philodendron, and monstera. Aroids really love moist but well-draining soil. We have 4 parts of dampened perlite, great for aeration and drainage, 4 parts orchid bark, also great for drainage, 1 part compost, which is great for organic matter, 1 part cocoa peat, which will hold moisture, which they really love, and 1 part horticultural charcoal. This helps sweeten the soil and helps with drainage too. Check the Gardening Australia website for more specialised mixes you can make yourself. And of course, all plants need sunlight, so you need to take into account the different light zones at your place. Most houseplants are happy in bright indirect light, like this philodendron Brazil. This is one of my favourite plants. The brighter light you can give it, the brighter the variegation will be. You can put it in a hanging basket and allow the leaves to cascade over the side. Or you can put it near a wall and use little hooks so the vines can climb. It's a really versatile plant. I love it. For hot spots that get direct sun, try crotons. They have gorgeous tropical style foliage that could be speckled or splashed with lots of colour. For areas at home with low light, my favourites are the cast iron plant for its elegant dark green leaves, and Dracaena, because it looks like a little tree with a crown of green and gold foliage. And the other thing you can do, if sunshine is in short supply at your place, try having a go with artificial lights. I've brought my lampstand here from home. This is what I use. And while these lights are great for reading, they're not so much great for growing your plants. What you need is a full spectrum light, one that has all the colours of the rainbow and mimics daylight. And really, you can experiment with lots of different artificial lighting. This one here, it's got a red light, and red light is great for flowering. You can also find ones with a blue light, and blue light helps promote vegetative growth. When using your lights, consider the distance. You want to keep it about 40 to 50 centimetres away from the light source. Otherwise, if it's too close, you risk burning the leaves. And there's no benefit to leaving your lights on 24/7 because, like us, plants kind of have a circadian rhythm, so they need nighttime to rest. So make sure you turn your light off at night. At the end of the day, it's about providing a little bit of TLC to your plants, but getting a lot back in return. Plants are so good for our well-being, so have fun growing.